Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? I'm back. I haven't been here, feels like a month, but I think it's only been 2 or 3 weeks. Still, that's a long time. That's a long time now. Hello, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. It's 2017. I hope your New Year has been a good one so far. Hello, everybody. I see a lot of familiar names and some new ones. So many people here. No baby face. I'm growing out this beard because it is very, very cold where I'm from. It's very cold in Spokane, Washington, up in the northwest corner of the United States. It is very cold. Some days below zero, freezing, below 0 Fahrenheit. It's freezing here. There's lots of snow. It won't stop snowing. There's so much snow here, so much. Yeah, this is my winter beard. This is protection. This is a survival beard here. It is so cold here, and it's snowing. And my New Year's resolution, what I promised to do in this new year, is to exercise more, and that includes walking. So I've been walking outside in freezing temperatures. So this beard is purely for survival. When the weather warms up, I can shave again. Yes, my city is freezing. It is so cold. Actually, today is not so bad. Today is not so bad. It's been snowing a lot. And when it snows, it's not freezing. So it's actually good to see the snow. But there have been some days that have been very, very cold, very frigid. Thank you, Ibrahim. I appreciate the compliment. Yes, this is a survival beard. So many people here in the lobby today. So many people in the chat room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get started, shall we? Why not? Oh, I should share these notes with you. I usually share my class notes in the chat room. I'm going to put a link there. If you're on your computer, or I think even a tablet, that link will work. But if you're on your phone, that link probably will not work. That's okay. If the link to the notes does not work, you can always follow along just by watching the screen. Let me point the right way. The screen in the background there. Yes, Leo, I am like the Alaskan bush people. Is that what they call them? The Alaskan bush people, the Alaskan hunting family that you may see on TV. We're not quite Alaska. We're not quite that far north. We have a whole continent, or a whole country, I should say. We have a whole country in between us. Between Washington and Alaska is Canada. So Alaska is very, very far north. Okay, let's look at what's on the notes. As always, let me blow these up. Let me make them big. Boom. As always, if you have any questions about these Smrt Live classes, you can email Zach. And I hope that's okay, Zach, that I always give permission for everybody to email you. If you have any questions about these Smrt Live classes, please email Zach. Hussam, if it's cold where you live, you might want to consider a survival beard. It works wonders. It's better than a scarf, believe me. Welcome everybody. I should say some welcomes out here. Salua, Vivek, Leo, Rosa, Abdulaziz, Hussam, Akram, Sumi, Nada, Manju, Josh. Welcome. Knowledge is free. Sometimes knowledge is free. Welcome, knowledge is free. Guraba, I'm gonna try. I'm terrible at saying names. Guraba, is that even close? Chari, Steve. Wow, everybody's here. It's like everybody is here. It's been a long, long time. It's good to see you guys. Praveen, Azalea. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good morning and good New Year to you all, because I haven't seen you in the New Year yet. Okay, more links. So again, if you have any questions about these Smart Live classes, please email Zach. If you want to know more about the Smart Live classes, about signing up for them, about subscriptions, and a subscription does give you access to the entire Smart curriculum. The teacher will mark your assignments. There will be quizzes and exams, and at the end you will receive an official Smart English certification. There is a free 1-month trial. It's $35 a month, and the course options are pre-intermediate English with Abby, intermediate English with Sean, upper intermediate English with me, and English for academic purposes with Josh. Is that correct, Josh? You're here? No, Josh, don't go. Is that correct, Josh? I thought I was going to teach English for academic purposes, but it looks like I'm still upper intermediate English. I'm going to go by what this says. I'm going to go by what the Smart Live class page says. Okay, maybe Josh is gone. I was confused. I thought I was teaching academic English. It looks like I'll be teaching the same class. I'll ask everybody later. I thought I was going to teach academic English. That's what I understood. But it looks like it's going to be the same class. So I guess I will still be teaching upper intermediate. If you want to know more about this, the SCEL physical location here in Spokane, Washington, where we shoot these videos, the Spokane College of English Language, you can click on that link, which is shared with you as always. Rosa, you're saying teach the same level. Well, according to my last meeting, I was going to teach academic English, but then I come in here today and it looks like it's the same level. I'm happy to have the same level. I'm happy to teach any class. So it looks like I'll be teaching the same level. So if you have signed up for upper intermediate English, it will be me. And I guess I know that now. We'll call that a fact. Let's see, what's next? Oh, hi, Diari. How are you doing? Oh, of course, you probably know this page already. If you're on YouTube, you've probably seen this, the YouTube channels. We archive all our videos. So if you ever miss a video or if there's a specific lesson you're looking for, you can always go back and look at our live page, or our Smart Live class channel. Let's call it a channel. On YouTube, I believe they call them channels. And I missed one link. If you have not signed up for our Facebook group page yet, it is Learn English on Facebook. So please join us on Learn English on Facebook. Okay, I think that's all the links I have for you. My name is Neal Holgarth. I will be your upper intermediate teacher. I'm going to share the class note links in the chat room one more time. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Oh, we have another Rosa. Hello, other Rosa. Hello, both Roses. The link works? Yeah, hopefully the link works. Fingers crossed the link works. Fingers crossed for luck the link works. I know this means different things, the cross fingers in different cultures. We do this for luck. Fingers crossed for luck in America. So, fingers crossed for luck, the link works. Let's look at some vocabulary. Why don't you? Why don't we? Here is vocabulary about global thinking. So this is going to be about the environment, about the world. Global thinking. Aaron, good morning. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Aaron, I believe you're still in my class. I have a couple more people signed up for my class. I will still be the upper intermediate teacher. The upper intermediate teacher. There was a brief week there where I thought I was going to be the academic teacher, but looks like I'll still be on upper intermediate. I'm going to use the presentation behind me, you can follow along on the words that I shared with you in the class notes. So follow along. They'll be the same words with the same definitions. The advantage of the presentation is that there will be pictures. So let's take a look. First word, activist. It's a noun, and you may see this part of the word in it, act or activity. So we can assume that an activist is an active person. And it does talk about the person. Anytime you see this ist suffix or this ist ending on a word, it's talking about a person. And here we see he's looks kind of angry and he's speaking loudly through a megaphone. So we can start to guess what activists do. Many environmental activists are protesting the government's decision to cut down the forest. And they put this adjective before activist, environmental activist. That would be somebody who is active, who takes action in trying to protect the environment. And sometimes that means going against the government, because the government doesn't always protect the environment as the activists would like them to do. So many environmental activists are protesting the government's decision to cut down the forest. And they do things like this. They protest, and they're very vocal in their protests, meaning they're loud, they make their voices heard out on the streets, so people know they are against it. Okay. Ready for the next one? That's activist. Let's go to the next one. Next word. Did I skip one? Yeah, I did. Admirable. Admirable. That's kind of a hard one to say. It's not admirable. It comes from the verb admire. And so many people say the adjective admirable. It's actually admirable. Admirable. His actions were selfless and admirable. And here is a group of people applauding somebody's actions. That's because they admire the person. They find him admirable. His actions were selfless and admirable. Means it makes people admire you. If you're admirable, people admire you. They look up to you. They respect you. Selfless is just the opposite of selfish. Selfish is you only think of yourself. Selfless, you think of others. His actions were selfless and admirable. Admirable. Knowledge is free. You're asking about activists. Do they always protest the government? No, they can protest many things. They can protest a company, a corporation. They can protest the actions of other people, other citizens. A lot of times it is the government, though. Rosa, you're asking, can we say political activists? We can. We can say political activists. We can say environmental activist. We can say peace activist. There's many adjectives or nouns you can put before activist to say specifically what kind of activist that is. Think of it as another word. You can think of it as protester, as another word for activist. And around the world, there are many activists all around the world. If somebody feels that something is not fair, if there's not enough justice, they will take action into their own hands and they will protest. A lot of times it's just letting people know their message, being very vocal, being very loud, and letting people know their message, going online, using social media to let people know their message, using the media like TV, newspapers, radio to let people know their message. It's getting the message out there. That's what activists and protesters are trying to do. Get the message out there. And of course, our second word, admirable. Admirable. Some activists are admirable. Yes, Victor, that's good. Think of an activist not as just somebody who thinks about change, but somebody who is active and does something to make change. Activists are active. They take action. Admirable. Let's look at the next one. Arms. Noun. Arms. Nuclear arms are only possessed by 8 countries. So, of course, you think on the human body, you think this is an arm. We have arms. Arms is another name for weapons. It's synonym for weapons. So here you see the picture of the nuclear missiles, nuclear arms. We don't just say weapons or missiles, we can say arms. You can also say arms for guns, for any kind of weapon. But here we have nuclear arms are only possessed by 8 countries. I think it might be more than that since this presentation was made. I believe more than 8 countries in the world now have nuclear arms. Vivek, I would hope that words are more powerful than arms. Sometimes they are. You're missing the crime vocabulary already. The global vocabulary, not as engaging, but important, very important for this world today. If you're going to follow the news media, these are important words. I believe North Korea has nuclear arms. I believe both Koreas have nuclear arms, as a matter of fact. That'd be an interesting fact to look up. Maybe next time we meet, we will look that up. Let's look at the next word, charity, noun. If you do not have money to spare, you can always donate your time to charities and volunteer. A charity is any organization that helps people in need, people that need food or shelter or clothes, resources such as maybe finding a job, somebody to help them find a job, legal aid, they need help legally. Charities provide these. Charities provide resources for people that need those resources. And here we see maybe a charity over here, and they're helping to dig something in the ground, maybe to plant food or maybe to make a well to get water. So charities help with that. If you do not have money to spare, if you cannot give money to a charity, you can always donate your time. You can volunteer for a charity. You can actually do work for a charity. Charity is a good activity. If you want to be active and you don't necessarily want to be an activist, you can always join and volunteer for a charity and help people in need. It's probably the best way to take action. It's direct action and it does a lot of good and it helps a lot of people. Let's look at the next one. Climate. Noun. The city has a very wet climate. Climate is a general term for the type of weather or the type of what could we say? Atmospheric environment. The atmosphere, the sky. What kind of general weather is in that area? Right now, in winter, where I live, it is a very cold climate. It's a snowy climate. So it's a more general term for weather, and it's not as specific. It's generalized. What is the climate? Is it wet? Is it hot? Is it cold? What is the climate where you live? What is the climate where you live? Canada also has a good climate. Good, Abdulaziz. Arizona, good, Aaron. Arizona has a very dry climate. It is like a word for weather. Zach saying the climate is wet up in Vancouver. Vancouver, Canada, the climate is very wet. I would give anything right now for a wet climate. Right now we're very cold, snowy, icy. The climate in Mumbai is very beautiful. You're lucky, Vivek. A mild climate, knowledge is free, you're in a mild climate. Praveen, India is cold right now. India has a cold climate. It's hard for me to imagine India with a cold climate. Milena, you have a frosty climate. Carol, you're saying the UK has a moderate climate. We also think of the UK as having a wet climate. That's how I imagine it, at least. Bangalore has a good climate. Largo, negative 30 degrees Celsius. Woo! Whoa, where is that? Largo, negative 30 degrees Celsius. Crazy. Nitesh, dry, cold, and wet, but right now cold. Very cold climate in Saudi Arabia, Husam. It's also hard for me to imagine Saudi Arabia having a cold climate, but I guess north, it would have a cold climate. Question, one of them or one of whom? I would say one of them. Vivek, I would say one of them. Unless there are two men on the corner, one of whom I know, unless you want to put, if you want to continue that little phrase there are two men on the corner, one of whom I know. There are two men on the corner, I know one of them. So are you going to end with the phrase or are you going to continue the phrase? If you end with the phrase, one of them, if you're going to continue the phrase, one of whom, ... So it depends on what you're writing. The climate on Mars is very arid. Akram, yes, you can't plant a lot on Mars. If you ever seen the movie The Martian, he figures out how to plant something on Mars, but the climate is arid, and usually you cannot plant a lot of vegetation on Mars. So it sounds like it's kind of cold, a little cold around the world, except Mumbai and Morocco. Oh, Morocco is cold too, but sunny. It's winter. It's winter time. Of course, there are going to be cold climates around the world. Okay, let's look at the next one. Commonplace. Oh, this poor guy's face is covered up. Commonplace is an adjective. A long time ago, that hairstyle was considered strange. Now it is quite commonplace. So if we look at this dude's hair, at one time it was considered strange. Now it is considered commonplace. Means usual, regular, normal. Something you see, something you don't even notice because you see it so much. It is commonplace, usual. Knowledge is free. You're asking, we don't use climate with a city, with a smaller region. We can, you're right, we usually don't, but we can. Like I can say the climate in Spokane is cold in the winter, and that makes sense. But you're right, climate is usually for larger regions, larger areas. The climate in the inland Northwest, where I live, is in the winter, it's cold and snowy. The climate on the west coast of Washington State is rainy. So we do use it for larger regions. You can use it for smaller areas. Probably nothing smaller than a city, though. But city regions or city climates make sense. Yeah, commonplace, a common thing. Yeah, a usual thing, a usual thing. I have my survival beard in the background. We see this guy has a beard too. You know, a few years ago, beards were not commonplace. Beards in America as a fashion for men were not commonplace. And this was just a few years ago. Maybe I can say safely like 6 years ago or so, 6 or 7 years ago. Beards were not commonplace. Obviously, they are very commonplace now. You see many, many men with beards. And then a couple years ago, it was really commonplace. Almost all the men had beards. It was the fashion. It was the trend. It was a fad. And now you don't see it as much, but it is still commonplace. You will still see it a lot. Yeah, it's something you get used to. Yomera, you're asking, is it snowing in Spokane, Washington? Right now it is not, but yesterday it snowed almost all day yesterday. It started snowing around, I want to say maybe like 1 or 2 o'clock, and it didn't end. It was still snowing when I went to bed. And then when I woke up this morning, there was more snow on my car. So it had snowed sometime last night as well. So yesterday, a lot of snow. And the day before that, it snowed. So we've gotten a lot of snow in the last 2 days. Beard is commonplace in India, Nitesh, as a fashion for men. Yeah, I think in some regions of Asia, like the southwestern regions of Asia, beards are commonplace. What else is commonplace in your countries? Nowadays, beard is commonplace in France, according to Leo. Vivek, my words were beautiful for her. It is not quite commonplace to her. It's maybe not commonplace to hear anybody say beautiful words. Largo, could you explain the meaning of the word facility? Facility can mean building. Facility can mean an organization inside a building. Facility can mean a bathroom. Facility can mean a convenience, a modern convenience like a bathroom. I think that's all the meanings of facility. Something modern and convenient for living, like a building or a bathroom, or some kind of organization that makes those conveniences possible. Facility. Yomera, you've been to Washington many times. You're lucky. Washington's a great state. I love living here. A rigid climate? Probably not a rigid climate, Borka. You could say a frigid. You could put an F at the beginning of rigid and say a frigid climate, meaning very cold. Aaron is saying tattoos are quite commonplace in Korea. So Korea, tattoos have become commonplace. In America, tattoos are commonplace. Almost everybody has tattoos. So many. Well, and I'm seeing a mixed reaction to beards. Some say it makes people look handsome. Some people say beards are disgusting. They are pretty disgusting because what you eat and what you drink gets stuck in your beard. So a lot of crumbs, a lot of food crumbs get stuck in my beard. Okay, let's look at the next word. Question about prepositions. With charity, what preposition? Give to charity. I want to give my time and money to charity. I would say give to charity. Good, Aaron. A gym is also a facility. That's one I forgot. Aaron thought of another meaning of facility. A gym is a facility for you to work out in. Good. Okay, let's look at the next word, comprehend, verb. It is hard to comprehend what life must be like in that country. Comprehend means understand. Understand. Can you comprehend? Can you understand? Can you comprehend the question? Raid asks a question, why do you use chilly for cold? Two different spellings. I'll spell them in the chat room here. We have chilly, meaning cold. That's Chilly for cold. And then we have chili, the food. Chili. We have a food made with beans called chili. It's like a thick soup. So two different types of chili. Chili is cold. Chill. Chill means make cold. Chill, you chill things in the freezer. You chill food in the freezer. Chill is also a noun. I caught a chill. I became suddenly cold. Yes, Leo, I see you know the food chili. Chili con carne. Delicious. Yes, comprehend comes from comprehensive. Comprehensive means everything. You understand everything. It covers everything. Comprehend, you understand. You understand completely. You understand fully. You learn it, then you comprehend it. Do you comprehend the words? Comprehend? Can you comprehend the vocabulary? Yes, Leo, chili often has meat, but of course, in America, and I'm sure many parts of the world, you can get vegetarian chili, where the beans are the main protein in the chili. I prefer it with meat, but vegetarians, of course, cannot eat meat, so they enjoy their chili with beans. Vivek, you're comprehending a new novel. Good. It means you're reading the novel and you're understanding it. I am trying to comprehend the subject of logic. I'm trying to comprehend what a logician does. A logician, somebody who studies logic, is a lot like a mathematician, somebody who studies math, of course, but they study logic. So it's kind of where math and philosophy meet. And I'm trying to understand the subject of logic. Can I comprehend it? A little bit. I need to read more to be able to comprehend it fully. Yomera, you're using the slang, the idiom, take a chill pill, which means relax. So chill out, of course, means relax. Chill out. Sergey, I'm checking your sentence. These flowers keep prime for a long time. So we can say these flowers are past their prime, meaning they're no longer new, but we don't usually say these flowers keep prime. I guess you could. It makes sense. I would understand that. But that's not exactly what we say. Fresh. These flowers have kept fresh. These flowers keep fresh for a long time. Past their prime is an idiom. So you can say past their prime. But as far as flowers or fruits or vegetables go, maybe use the word fresh. Keep fresh. What's the difference between comprehend and understand? They're synonyms. You can use them the same. Comprehend maybe is stronger. I understand everything. I understand completely. I comprehend. Comprehensive. I have full understanding. Understand is very basic. Yeah, I understand. Comprehend means it is deep, is a deep understanding. But you can use them as synonyms. You can easily use them as synonyms. Praveen, I am also trying to comprehend the political issues in America, but I have given up. I cannot comprehend politics in America. I've given up. I want to think about other things. I want to think about logic. Yes, good, Vivek. Sometimes I fail to comprehend English movies without subtitles. Yeah, it's like digest information, fully digest information. Yes, comprehend is more thorough. Am I an activist? I am not an activist. Although I volunteer, I do give volunteer time. I wouldn't consider myself an activist. I am a volunteer. I volunteer to my community, to the community of Spokane. If you live in a place, I believe you should volunteer a little bit of your time and be active in your community, making wherever you are, your town, your city, your state, your country, a better place. but I'm not really active. I don't send out a message. I don't take a lot of action. I just like to help a little bit. Okay, let's look at the next word. Conflict. Noun. There are religious conflicts in many parts of the world. Now, I can't imagine what these two young boys, what their religious conflict would be, if they have one. Maybe. I don't think I don't know if this sentence quite matches this picture. I doubt these boys are having a religious conflict. They look like brothers. They're probably fighting over toys or what to watch on TV. But yes, that sentence is true. There are religious conflicts in many parts of the world. Yeah, there's disagreement, of course. So there can be any kind of conflict. Religious conflict, political conflict, economic conflict. There can be many, many different conflicts in the world. Nitesh, you have a conflict with me? I hope not. Let's not fight. Diary and Vivek were conflicting on Facebook today. Don't fight, guys. You shouldn't fight. Yes, Hussam, I think these boys are having a conflict over who should get the cookie first. Leo, I don't comprehend that either. That's something that I cannot comprehend. What is the difference? That's a good question, Carol. What is the difference between conflict and argue or conflict? So the noun is conflict. The verb is conflict. A little bit pronunciation difference, if you can hear the difference. Conflict, the noun, that's the word you see on the screen. Same spelling, but verb is conflict. Conflict, conflict. I'll put that in the chat as well. There is a little bit of pronunciation difference. Conflict, conflict. So here we're talking about conflict. So the verb conflict, is there any difference between conflict and argue? No, not really. Conflict, it's like fight, argue, disagree. It's strong though. It is a strong word. It sounds serious when you use it. Maybe more serious than an argument. A conflict is very, very serious. Okay, let's look at the next word. Yes, slang, Yomera, that's good slang. Beef. Do you have beef with me? You got a beef with me? Means, do you have a problem with me? Do we have a conflict? What's their beef? What are these boys' beef? It's slang for conflict or fight, argument. That's a good one, Yomera. I like that slang. Beef. What's your beef? Ibrahim, are you saying they're fighting over milk and diapers? Maybe. Okay, let's look at the next one. Coral reef as a noun. There is a beautiful and famous coral reef in Australia. And I think this picture illustrates this word perfectly. That is a coral reef. That's exactly what a coral reef looks like. It is a shallow part of water, where a lot of life grows, including coral. And we see all the coral here. Coral is actually living. It's not a plant and it's not a rock. It's a living creature. These are living creatures. It's actually a lot of little living creatures working together, building these strange underwater formations. And fish live in here. It's a very rich environment with a lot of food, and that's why a lot of fish are there. So if you go on vacation and you snorkel or you scuba dive, you will probably do it around a coral reef because there's lots to see, lots of fish, lots of underwater life. Coral reef. Is there a Diary, are you saying this is the Gold Coast? Or it looks like the Gold Coast? Yeah, this is a beautiful picture. I have never been to a coral reef. Of course, I've seen reproduction in an aquarium, but I've never been to an actual coral reef. I would love to go. I'd love to go snorkeling at a coral reef someday in the future. Let's look at the next one. Let's look at the next one. Curious. Adjective. What she said was really curious. I need to find out more. That guy's curious. I think you've probably heard this one before. Taco Plays, you're asking, is there a video about persuasive essay in the channel? I don't know, but we could certainly make that video. I will look into doing a video. If at my level, if at the upper intermediate level, there's something about the persuasive essay, we can certainly talk about that. Good. Nandish, if you've ever seen Finding Nemo or Finding Dory, you have seen a coral reef in a movie before. The Maldives, yeah, a very famous destination for the coral reef. Okay, Praveen, that's a good question. What's the difference between curious and eager? Eager is you're really excited to do something. You're really excited to do something. Curious is just you want to know more. There is more information you want to know, and you so much want to know more. You think about it, and you probably will take the steps to learn more. You're curious. What's going on? What she said was really curious. I need to find out more. I want to know more about what she said. I think about it all the time. I want to know more. Hussam, you're curious to see who is a better teacher, Sean or Neal? I think it's Sean. Sean is a better teacher. Rosa, you're curious as to why I didn't bring my coffee with me this morning? I am also curious. Where is my coffee? Why don't I have coffee with me? I forgot it. Forgot my coffee this morning. Yes, Leo, you're right. I forgot my coffee. Oh my goodness. When this class is done, the first thing I'm going to do is get some coffee. Oh, okay, Rosa, thank you. Taco, Sean has a class. If you look at Sean's archived classes on the Smrt Live channel on YouTube, you should be able to find a video about the persuasive essay. Nora is curious about what's in Vivek's heart. Should she cut his chest with a knife to find out? Nora, you should not. You should ask him directly. You should use words. You should not cut anybody open. Oh, thank you, Rosa, for the link. Kathleen, you're from the Philippines, and you can understand my English. That's good. I'm glad you can comprehend my English. I'm glad you understand this English. Hopefully you can also understand the English of the other students in the chat room. Nitesh is very curious to know who Rosa is and how she looks. Yeah, you want to know more. Curious. Something makes you curious, makes you want to search out that information. Okay, next word. Demonstration, noun. Activists, there's our first vocabulary word again. Activists are planning a demonstration for this afternoon. I am sure the roads will be blocked. Demonstration is a synonym for protest. Activists are planning a demonstration for this afternoon. I am sure the roads will be blocked. And as you can see, this is a good picture of a demonstration. People come out, they march together, they shout, they're very loud, they raise their fists as a show of strength and solidarity. It's a demonstration. They're demonstrating their protest. They're demonstrating their disagreement with something, government or politics or economics, a new law. Hussam, you will show a demonstration for driving a car. Can you not drive a car? So demonstrate also means to show. It just means to show. But when we use, and so you can say like, the salesman did a demonstration of the vacuum cleaner. He showed me how the vacuum cleaner worked. So it just means show. But here with our words, when we're talking about the environment and being active towards protecting the environment, the word demonstration means protest. We're using that meaning here. Donate. Verb, she often donates money and time to charitable organizations. Donate means give. Give freely, give willingly, give your money, give your time. Donate. Donate money or your time. Is demonstration always in a group? No, sometimes. Oh, my mouse wheel is not working very well. Come on, mouse wheel. Work with me, mouse wheel. Nope, I'm going to have to go manual. Going to have to click the button. Demonstration can be one person. One person could, let's say, chain themselves to a tree, saying, "Don't cut down trees." And that would also be a demonstration. You can have a one-person demonstration. It is possible. But usually in a group. And usually to show that you want something to change. I missed a word. Desirable, adjective. She lives in a very desirable area of the city. And if we look in the background, obviously that is a place you would want to live. Oh, let me get my hand back in the shot. That is a place you would want to live. You have desire to live there. It is desirable. She lives in a very desirable area of the city. Look how beautiful this place is. Houses all painted nice with nice cheerful colors. It's on the water. It's on the waterfront. You can go boating. You can go out on the patio here, maybe have a coffee, a little bit to eat, watch the boats. Maybe you could be on your balcony and watch the boats and watch the water. You have beautiful, beautiful scenery. It's desirable. It's very desirable to live in this area of the city. So that's a good adjective. That's a good adjective. Did I skip another one? What happened to donate? There it is. I skipped a couple words. Sorry about that. My mouse wheel. I'm blaming it on the mouse wheel. The mouse wheel is not very good on this mouse. I need a new mouse with a better mouse wheel. Okay. Diversity, noun. The diversity of wildlife in this forest is just amazing. Okay, this picture doesn't match the sentence. This is not wildlife. People are not wildlife. The diversity of wildlife in this forest is just amazing. However, if you look at the picture, wherever this is, wherever these people work, there is diversity here. There is diversity in their workplace. You see many people from many different countries, many different backgrounds, many different places. I don't know, they might all be from the same country. They could all be Canadian or they could all be American. I shouldn't assume they are from different countries. However, they show racial diversity. If they aren't from different countries, their ancestors were. So here we have diversity. The sentence, the diversity of wildlife in this forest is just amazing. Diversity of wildlife would be you would have bears and deer and elk and squirrels and chipmunks and birds. You would have many different kinds of animals, which is not what this picture is showing. It's not a forest, and this is not wildlife. Yeah, if you have diversity of wildlife, Carol, you would have comprehensive wildlife. There would be comprehensiveness in wildlife. What's the difference between diversity and variety? Sometimes we can use them the same. Sometimes we can use them as synonyms. Diversity is, we use it for people, diversity of people. You wouldn't really say a variety of people. You might say there is a diversity of wildlife in the forest, but then you might say there is a variety of birds, or there's a variety of blackbirds in the forest. So when you get more specific to a type of species of animal, then you can start using variety. Variety is like something that's in the same category and yet can still be separated, if that makes sense. So there's a diversity of wildlife in this forest, including many types of blackbirds. There is a variety of blackbirds in this forest. Manjura in India, India has a diversity of religions. Yes, India is religiously diverse. Many religions in India. Yeah, variety is like classification. Many classifications. Variety is this thing can be further classified into many other things. I could say the bakery has a variety of bread for sale. Bread is the category, and yet they have a variety of bread. They have sourdough, wheat, white. What else for breads? They have whole grain. They have, I've said enough. I don't know that many types of breads. I can't think of that many varieties of breads. But you get the idea. You take one category and then you further split it up into its many smaller categories. Variety. Variety. We use variety a lot with products, more than living things. I guess in America we use variety a lot with products. Yes, I forgot French bread. Thank you, Zaid. I also forgot French bread. Of course there's French bread as well. With language, I think you could use both. You could say a variety of language or a diversity of languages. Diversity is a good word to use with the way we talk about the differences in people. And that difference can be racial, it can be religious, it can be in the language they speak, it can be in the way they were raised, it can be their economic class. So we use diversity with people, and it can actually refer to a lot of ways we classify people. It can be in their age, so diversity of people. It can be in their skills, their skill set, the skills they have. Diversity is a good word to use in talking about the differences between people. Good. If you've ever shopped at Costco, that's good, Yomera. If you've ever shopped at Costco, there is variety of products at Costco. Yes, the Mac company has a diversity of cosmetics. Good, Aaron. Okay, let's look at the next. Donate. And you guys thought of donate blood, something I didn't think of before. Of course you can donate blood. If you are O negative, you are a universal donor, meaning anybody can receive your blood. If you're O positive, you are a universal acceptor, and you can accept any type of blood. What is the difference between demonstration and protest? That's a good question. I would say a demonstration is done in the real world. A protest you could do online. You could protest online. You could protest in real life. A demonstration, I would say, you wouldn't do online. A demonstration you would do in real life. You would be there personally. You have to be there in person. Okay, next word, drastically. We have an adverb now, our first adverb. Drastically. His health drastically improved when he quit smoking. Drastically means big, big change. Drastic is huge, big, in a major way, on a big scale, going from one extreme to another extreme. His health drastically improved when he quit smoking. Improved a lot, improved in a huge way. And it looks like he didn't only quit smoking, he started hiking, he started backpacking, he went out into the wild and started hiking. So he didn't just quit smoking, he started exercising as well because his health improved. Of course, if you quit smoking, your health will drastically improve. Knowledge is Free is asking, is demonstration a kind of violence? Demonstration is not a kind of violence. It can be. Demonstrations can be violent, or they can turn violent. They can become violent. But they are not necessarily violent. They do not have to be violent. They can be peaceful. You can have a peaceful demonstration. You can even have a quiet demonstration. But you do have to be there in person. You have to show up. You have to be there. And you have to have some way to communicate your message, what you are demonstrating for. India has, Praveen, you would say India has diversity. India has diversity. Diversity would be something to have. India is diverse. You can use the adjective. India is diverse. India has diversity. Vivek, I'm glad your grammar has drastically improved after these videos. Hopefully your vocabulary is drastically improving today. Hopefully some of these words are new to you, so your vocabulary is drastically improved. Yeah, fast. Good, Kathleen. Drastically is fast, extreme, big change, sudden change, amazing change. Drastically, in a big way. Something you can easily see that a huge change has been made. What's a synonym for drastically? That's a good question. I would say largely, drastic, extremely. I would say the synonym, good synonym adverb would be extremely. You also save money. You save a drastic amount of money when you quit smoking. Yeah, it's strongly, extremely, largely, drastically. It can even mean quickly, greatly, rapidly. It's a good word. Radically, good. You guys are thinking of good synonyms. Very, yes, maybe just simply very. Yeah, Yomera has been extremely, drastically, I'll say extremely helpful. I wouldn't say drastically helpful. Drastic is a good adverb to talk about change. When you see something change. And here you see this dude is changed. He's a different dude since he quit smoking. Okay, I'm going to put one more word in there. Exterminate, verb. An exterminator visited my home last week to get rid of the mice. Exterminate. Kill everything. If you have mice or rats or cockroaches or termites or ants in your house, you want to exterminate them. You want to kill all of them. An exterminator visited my home last week to get rid of the mice. He exterminated them. He killed them. And this might be a drastic amount of mousetraps. That's too many mousetraps. Silly. Oh, good. Right. Astronomically is also a give one. Oh, and we're having a request on conjunctions. Yeah, I can talk about conjunctions. Conjunctions are easy. That would be an easy one. Okay, I think that's all the time we have for now. Let me jump out. For those of you who have signed up for class, There is a homework assignment, and I will grade it. So it's this same unit of vocabulary, vocabulary 10-1, and it will be exercise 1 and 3. I will also send out an email to the people in class letting them know that there is homework. I will share the link one more time. If anybody joined late, here is the link to the class notes. Next time we will have a different lesson. I've had a couple requests for one for conjunction. I will try to find a conjunction lesson. I think that's all the time we're going to spend on these words, and we only got to exterminate. So please, on your own, use those class notes and look at the rest of these words and try to learn them. I think they will be helpful, especially for those news readers out there, for those of you who like to read the news in English. I think some of this vocabulary will prove helpful. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me go to my green screen. It's actually red, I lied. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's great to be back. It's great to see all of you. I shouldn't pound on the table. I'm glad to be in the same class. I thought I was going to do a different class, but it's a little more comfortable to stay in the same class. I'm glad you guys showed up. I am only doing Mondays. I will only be here Mondays. So instead of twice a week, it will be only one time a week. But what a great way to start out the week on a Monday morning with all of you. I hope you start every week with me and the rest of all the amazing students that join us here on the Smrt Live channel on YouTube. Tomorrow, I believe there's a video. Who is it tomorrow? I can't remember. I'm going to use my link. Who is it tomorrow? Tuesdays, it's Abby. It'll be Abby tomorrow. So we'll see her tomorrow. Okay. I think that's it. For today. All right, I'm going to bid you adieu. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to try to stay warm and dry, keep out of the snow, and I will see you next week. Is it the same time? Yes, it'll be the same time Monday. Every Monday at the same time. The Tuesday class, I believe, same time as our class today. Yes. At this same time tomorrow. And then we have Josh on Thursdays and Sean on Fridays. Okay, I think that's it. All right, bye-bye. See you next week, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. You're welcome. Thank you for showing up. I'm going to play you some music now.